Ask for third reading. Clerk, read next bill.
Senate Bill 457, St. Mary's County Public Facilities Bond. Favor of the amendments. Amendment number 1.
Recognizing the committee chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Move so much to be considered the reading of the amendment.
So ordered.
Amendment number 1 is technical. Amendment number 2 alters the amount of the authorization. Move the amendments.
Madam Speaker, I have some questions before we adopt those amendments.
Your question is?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A question for the floor leader.
Committee chair.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
What was the committee vote on that amendment?
Unanimous?
It was unanimous. Now, my understanding in looking at this amendment, it raises the amount of money that the original bill asked for from $41 million to $56 million. Now, the St. Mary's delegation consists of 4 members. 3 House members.
Is this a question or a statement? I know how many members are in the St. Mary's
well,
delegation.
Thank you. I don't think everybody else now. You might know. Apparently, you know a lot about this bill. We have 3 House members, 1 Senate member, and I'm just wondering why 3 of those 4 members, the Republican members, weren't notified of this amendment.
I don't think it impacts them.
It impacts the county. I didn't realize that the committee or yourselves represented St. Mary's County.
Will the gentleman yield for a question?
Go ahead.
All right, so my question to you is why in the world, when the county commissioners have supported a YMCA project, not in your district and not in the Republican members' district, and the county commissioners are supporting it, a YMCA in a historically black community that doesn't impact you at all, that your senator supports, that the delegate from 29B supports, why you would support projects for your district but not for their district?
That's not the case at all, and you're misleading the statement, period. You're misleading everything, to tell you the truth. You have a Senate bill locked in your drawer of your committee, Senate Bill 458, that addresses this.
Senate Bill 458
please don't cast. We've had a whole bunch of conversations about impugning people's motives, and it looks like you're impugning my motive.
I asked you a question. I'm not impugning any motives. Do you support Senate Bill 458?
I do. And you know what?
Then you should be glad that all this does is it combines Senate Bill 458 into this bill.
No,
which
it doesn't. It takes away the taxpayer protections that were in Senate Bill 458. We took a delegation vote on the House bills and the Senate bill, and it was unanimously supported by the St. Mary's County delegation. Unanimously. You're combining it with House Bill 623, with the delegation explicitly came out and opposed.
I guess the fact of the matter is that the delegate whose district wherein this YMC lies doesn't want to put barriers in front of the project. Just like we want to put barriers in front of the projects in your district, delegate.
Why did you keep it secret?
Why did we what?
Why did you keep it secret?
Delegate, it's on the House floor right now. We're talking about it. We passed it out of committee unanimously. Move the bill. Where's the secret?
You didn't tell the delegation chair, myself, the other member of our delegation here. You didn't tell the senator. 3 of the 4 members you did not communicate with at all before amending this bill.
The delegate whose project it matters that it directly impacts. Look, you know, when you have a project in your district, I don't go to the delegate from Montgomery County and ask their opinion.
Do we have delegation rules in this committee or in this body or not?
Did the delegation
support this amendment? Did the delegation support this amendment? Do you have a letter from the delegation saying that you support this amendment?
I have a letter from the commissioners, and I have the delegate who's.
What does that letter say? Does it say that it supports it?
Delegate, if you're going to ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. I have a letter from the commissioners, and I have the delegate who's directly impacted by this project, who's in favor of it. This doesn't impact anyone else, anyone in this state, other than the delegate from 29.
Who pays for that then? If it doesn't impact anyone in the state, who pays for that? This increase in profit. Do my citizens pay for it? Absolutely. We both know the answer is yes. The letter that you have from our county commissioners does not support this bill. They didn't come out in support of any bill. They said to figure this out. The bills that are locked up in the Senate, or locked up in your committee, SB457, which is this one, 458 addresses these entire problems. Everyone was in consensus. We're told every session, work across party lines, build consensus.
Delegate, are you done with me?
And that's exactly what we did. And now you're just moving in amendments without communicating to anybody because you have the numbers. That's wrong. That's wrong, Madam Speaker. We object to this. How about I make a motion to move this bill back to committee, to refer it back to committee, so this amendment can be struck from the bill and we actually move what the Senate voted on.
Committee chair.
If the motion is in order, we would oppose the amendment. The committee voted this amendment out unanimously. The bill is before us. It impacts one project in a historically black community in one person's district in this state. That person supports it. I will defer to the delegate from St. Mary's County.
I'll yield to my member from the same delegation that represents Mid County. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The other gentleman from St. Mary's.
Press my button. Got it. Thank you. There's probably no one in this room that's more familiar with this project than me, since I served as a county commissioner for 12 years representing that district. The problem I have with the amendment was the way it was proposed. I believe, and this is the first time I've stood up here to talk, I believe the delegation should have its opportunity to represent itself. And while I do represent the district that attaches to 29B, 29C has a lot of representatives there also in that particular category representing it. So I feel that the bill, as being amended, is wrong. It should be taken as 457 and 458. It shouldn't be combined. So I question why the amendment was put forth in that particular manner and the ramifications to not only the residents of 29B, but to 29A and 29C. Thank you.
Madam Speaker.
On the motion.
Oh, yeah. So let me give a little bit of a backstory here on what has happened. For 8 years, my African American community in Lexington Park has fought every hurdle and met every demand from my all-Republican county commissioner, Board of County Commissioners. And they have gone through needs assessments, letters, Board of County Commissioner meetings, steering committees, petitions, further community input. And after 8 long years, to the credit of our all-Republican county commissioners, they approved this bonding authority for $56 million. When they made the request to the delegation, it was for the full $56 million to include the YMCA project. And I can remember when I first ran for office in 2016, 2018, a then county commissioner, now shares the chamber with us, said the problem that we are having with the delegation is that they are weighing in too much on our local issues. And I wish they would stay out of our local issues. And yet, here we are, in that delegate's first term, putting restrictions on the local Board of County Commissioners. But only one project in the entire bonding authority. Only one. This one. The YMCA. We don't do anything on any of the projects in the North End. We don't do anything in the projects in Hollywood or in Leonardtown. There's no other restrictions on those, just this one, because people don't like it. That's it. There's no justification for it. So I'm going to ask you to resist sending this back to committee and voting in favor of this. You know, I think that the Bonding Authority Council said that it would be impossible to sell this bonding authority or to bond this out with these restrictions, because who would want to purchase the bonds with all sorts of restrictions on it? So they don't think it's good policy. The county attorney doesn't think it's good policy, and the all Republican county commissioners don't think it's good policy. And so I'm going to ask you to support the full $56 million, support local government, support my African American community, and support an outlet for kids to go to after school that helps reduce crime and gives them something to do. That is why this seat, not me, but this seat is important, to put a check on all this stuff. So, with that, I humbly ask we resist the motion to send it back to committee. I appreciate the Appropriations Chair, Vice Chair, and all our members, and thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, let me finish up here. Get out.
Gentleman from St. Mary. You still
Thank-
pushing your motion?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You know, the other member from St. Mary's County wants you to make it think like we're targeting him. We're targeting that district, and we are not. We could have easily, when that bill, bond authority came to the delegation, said, no, we're not taking it up. But we didn't do that. We tried to work out a compromise. And the reason why this is treated different than any other bonding authority, because the project is different. This is for a YMCA. It would be the first, it's YMCA at the Chesapeake. They have 12 other YMCAs in Virginia and Maryland. This would be the first one ever publicly funded. Publicly funded, the first one ever. And yes, the commissioners did jam this through on a vote the first day that the two commissioners that were elected were sworn in. Yeah, they voted on the bond authority. We could have killed this easily and brought it back next year, because this bond authority won't be actually exercised until 2026. And part of the deal with the county commissioners and this YMCA is for the YMCA to go out there and fundraise $4 million of their own money. The bill, SB 458, the Senate bill, basically reflects that. It says, yeah, the bonding authority will go into effect once the YMCA raises the amount of money they said they were going to raise. Because we don't want a situation where, hey, they raised $1 million, and then you know what? The taxpayers are picking up the rest of the money. So we're trying to have some basic taxpayer protections. That's it. I don't believe that's unreasonable. And instead of addressing it head on, passing the bill, amending the bill, we're kind of doing something almost secretly, where nobody in the delegation is giving a heads up to it. We're going to expand the bonding authority $15 million. I don't think that's right. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I don't think that's right. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Press the motion.
On the motion to recommit, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Roll call.
Stand up.
Roll call.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, explain my vote.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am voting red because that keeps this bill, which is important for the people and the county commissioners in St. Mary's County, on the floor. A vote for green kills this bill. Probably not just for this year, but maybe in future years. So it's important to keep this bill on the floor and keep this process going for St. Mary's County. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, explain my vote.
Explain your vote.
I'm explaining my vote as voting for green because it doesn't have to kill the bill. The bill was perfectly fine when it moved through the Senate. If anything, this amendment may kill the bill because the Senate needs to agree to it. That's the truth. The solution has already been worked out. It's passed unanimously through the Senate. Both bills are sitting in the House Appropriations Committee. Look, we got like 4 or 5 days left. This could easily get sorted out, but I guess it's not. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay. Clerk will take the call. The amendment fails. Motion fails, rather. SB